Welcome back to the kitchen table of Silver Surfwax for Silver Surfwax Sunday. And what I have here before you is a bunch of freaky Santa dolls. Because, well, I don't know, it's Christmas and we're doing some Christmas festivities. I originally was going to bring down all of the Santas because Mrs. Silver Surfwax really loves the whole Santa doll collection. And there's more than 20 various sized dolls around the house. Look at this big guy in the back there. And but it was too much. It was too much for the table. I mean, you think we stack just silver around the house? No, apparently we collect Santa dolls too. I will mention that little Mr. and Mrs. Santa here was made by my mom. When I was a kid, she sewed all of this herself. She made like 20 sets of these dolls and handed them out to people. It's kind of pretty cool. She's very crafty. So we keep that in the house. So I'm kind of proud of that. But all the other Santas, oh my God, it's too much. I mean, it's give me kind of freaky vibes, kind of that Twilight Zone, Talking Tina situation. Every room of the house you go into, there's a couple of Santa dolls, maybe 4 per room. It is a bitch much. So anyway, getting started here, and there's a little Santa runner. We're gonna do the last unboxing of the year for you, and so I'm kind of excited because not only is this the last unboxing of the year, but this does it looks like it's gonna complete myself a 500-ounce monster box, and this has been a great year for silver stacking. For the Silver Surfwax household, there's been quite a lot accumulated this year, a little more than most, and completed a number of projects, which has been amazing. And so very, very fortunate to have, to be able to say that, to have that happen. And, you know, we're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and proceed with the unboxing here. While I'm unboxing, I want to kind of do some commentary because I'm trying my skills at doing some silver stacking commentary while we do these unboxings and kind of show off how we stack silver around here. And one of the things I wanted to do for this video was kind of do a response to a recent couple of videos I've seen out on the internet or out on YouTube, which may or may not have had, you know, the kind of the views or otherwise be that controversial, but I thought were interesting nonetheless. So most recently, a CoinHELPU, which is a great channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe or go visit them. I think this guy's very helpful and genuine. He put out a video talking about what are you gonna do if silver reaches $100 an ounce. And this is kind of a common thing that seems to be talked about in the community. Everybody wants silver to go to, you know, 3 figures. What you got, Keith Newmeyer is always talking about, you know, 3-figure silver and silver at $100. Let's see if we got any paper in here that needs to get stashed away. Okay, real quick, let's pause for the unboxing here. And it looks like we got what we expected from SD Bullion. All right, the paperwork's under there. There we go. So for whatever reason, SD Bullion has had the better prices lately. They used to have the better prices that I had been paying all the time. And then a lot of the other dealers started beating them out. But yet again, for what I'm purchasing right now, it seems like SD Bullion had the better prices. Now, I went ahead and, believe it or not, I can't believe I even did it. I mean, I kind of just maybe pressed the buy button too quick, but I picked up some Silver Eagles. As much as I have been bitching and moaning about the premiums, at the end of the year, it's 2022, and I picked up 10 Silver Eagles. Some of these are going to be gifts, stocking stuffers for friends and family, but you know, I kind of decided, since they're going to be gifts, I needed to get the premium, you know, the premium coin, even though I paid so much Now, premiums had gone down at SD Bullion and other sites for Silver Eagles lately. Instead of being like 12, 14, they were like 8, 9 over spot, but still 8, 9 over spot. It's just so much. But anyway, picked up a bunch of Silver Eagles. I also, for stocking stuffers and gifts for family members, have picked up some holiday coins. Again, not super impressed with the options for the holiday coins this year. It seems like every year I'm kind of bummed out that the holiday coins are so ugly. But I just went ahead and picked up this, Christmas wishes landscape type of deal. And, the back isn't so awful, and it's silver, and it says it very clearly on there. So I kind of, went with that. So there's some of the holiday cheer and gifts are spreading around. Got 10 of those. So I got 20 coins to give out for Christmas and to remind people about stacking. I kind of, I'm that one crazy uncle that's going to give you a gift and you're going to be like, what the hell is this? But, I've been into stacking, so I'll just be that crazy uncle. That's fine with me. And then the final, let's see if we can rip this off. Maybe I can't because that's a pretty strong little tag. So this CoinHELPU video is, I think what was interesting about the video for me is it really kind of hit home in terms of an uncomfortable topic or an uncomfortable thought. I mean, basically what the gentleman was saying is that, hey, is it realistic that silver is going to go to, three figures, $100 an ounce, $200 an ounce, and do you really want that? He brought up a number of topics. First and foremost, I think he said, what are you going to do if that occurs? Okay, I'm just going to pour this water. Look at that. All those quarters. Stoked. So jazzed because, this is going to get rinsed and cleaned up. It looks like I see a couple of dateless standing Liberty quarters in here. That looks like a type 2. And so we'll go ahead and we'll sort through this. But let me finish this sort of thought here. So, this uncomfortable topic of, hey, we are stackers, we're stacking silver. What's the point? Is it really going to go up in value? Is this an investment or is this a hobby? And quite frankly, that gives me some things to think about, because it is definitely what I consider an investment, but it has also been quite a bit of a hobby. I've been spending a lot of my time, purchasing silver, sorting silver, looking for key dates and coins and variously, trying to be a metal stacker, but getting persuaded to the numismatic side of things as my stacking has progressed. Yet I have a significant portion of my wealth, my net worth in silver. And, what am I doing here? What would I do if silver went to $100 an ounce or $200 an ounce? Now, I've put out other videos of my intention on playing the gold to silver ratio. So I already kind of have that answered, at least for myself, that I'm really more interested in playing the gold to silver ratio, increasing my stack in that way. But I think the CoinHELPU guy brings up this topic, and it's kind of interesting because he really kind of seems to be coming at it from a perspective that stacking silver is more of a hobby, and that most people are not purchasing a whole lot of silver such that it could really be considered an investment. If you're the type of person that's got 100 ounces or less, or you're buying a coin or two a week and that doesn't, sort of build up, you're talking only $2,000. If you have 100 ounces of silver, you got $2,500, of savings there, which is not a lot of savings in the scheme of things. The average American is, got a $50,000 a year income, and so is $2,000 going to do much if you have to liquidate, and you might have to liquidate at somewhat of a loss and somewhat of a loss from your premium. And so these are good points, right? These are strong arguments to be like, hey, what are we doing if you're not really, going in super hard over a lifetime, building a significant amount of wealth over a long period. If you're a short-term person thinking that silver is going to be 3 figures next year, are you trying to sell? Are you trying to time it? Are you going to sell once it gets to $150 an ounce? You're going to sell all your silver. And looking through his comments, a lot of people felt that way. They would just sell their silver. They're done. They're out. They've seen it go up in the past. They've seen it spike, and they're going to go ahead and get rid of all of their silver when that short term, that the vibe is that's a short term rise in price. And so I thought that was interesting. And I also think it's interesting because I think the CoinHELPU guy is more on the numismatic side of things, right? He belongs to a bunch of numismatic coin associations, more of a trader, broker, dealer type, people who flip silver. And I think there's a lot of people who get into precious metals or coin collecting because they're flipping coins. And you'll see a bunch of different YouTubers talk about that. They're going to buy the specialty, high premium stuff because they expect in a year that it'll be a little less common and they can sell it for more. And so they're flipping their coins. Whereas you got a guy like me who's buying a bunch of junk or a bunch of bullion, and I'm really just buying the metal. And so I'm not really, out there collecting all the specialty coins or all of one type of coin, or I'm not looking to trade or flip. So I might be a different type of stacker, right? And so, okay, well, if you're the trader type or you're the stacker type, what are you going to do? You obviously, if you bought a bunch of coins and the metal goes up, your coins should be your numismatic coins or your collectible coins should go up with it because you're riding the wave of the metal. Or so you're going to sell. And if I'm purchasing a bunch of junk, worn out, 90% silver, and if it goes up, am I going to sell? And so I think that's just kind of an interesting topic. He covered a couple of things that I think deserve some discussion, and his people in the comments that were making the discussion. But there's also another YouTuber, Silver Seeker, who recently did a short video. He kind of reminds us that that hey, back before silver, when silver was money, a gallon of gas, you could buy a gallon of gas for $0.25, right? You could take 1/4, buy a gallon of gas. And how weird is it that 1/4 now is still worth a gallon of gas, right? The silver quarter, roughly $5, is still gonna buy a gallon of gas. Gas is $3.50 right now nationwide. It had been up to $5, but still, like, how interesting that the value has been retained. And so, kind of you have this philosophy, at least one of the philosophies that I subscribe to, is that, hey, what I'm doing, I have extra money that I want to put in savings, and I don't want to put it in the bank because I feel like the inflation is going to eat it. And I'm concerned about central banking, and I'm concerned about our monetary policy. So what am I doing? I'm saving in silver. But there's a cost to saving in silver. There's these premiums. When I buy, when I sell, I'm losing 5% in gold on the purchase, 5% in gold on the sell, and I'm losing, I'm like 15%, 20% on silver. Even more when it comes to constitutional right now. It used to be almost spot, but now it's like 30% when you're buying this constitutional, and who knows how much when you sell. So theoretically, to justify this being a savings, to this being an investment, the silver price better go up for me to justify losing, 20, 30, 40% on a premium for just swapping, from cash into cash, fiat money into real money, and then back, if the fiat standard sticks, which I think it will. I don't think there's I don't realistically believe that we're gonna actually go back to a silver standard, right? That we're going to start, circulating these kind of coins at the supermarket and pay for groceries with it. I can't, if there's a new monetary system, I think they'll probably try to do something else. I don't know, and sure, it's very possible, and I'm kind of a prepper stacker, so I am kind of, zombie apocalypse, real silver. I have a vein of me in there, right? But I don't really believe it. I'm not really thinking that that's actually gonna happen. So, from that perspective, I am going to probably have to convert silver to something, whether I convert that silver to gold, like I've mentioned in my other video regarding the gold to silver ratio, that I want to, when the gold to silver ratio is amenable, I want to turn my silver into gold, and I will take a hit on premiums both directions doing that. But if it's worth it, then I will have increased my stack. I'll have turned what could have been a purchase of original gold, and I'll have been able to buy more gold because my precious metals have exceeded the increase. But one of the CoinHELPU arguments that he made in his videos is that miners would love for the price of silver to go up because, hey, they can start producing that silver at at a greater profit. And I guess that would be true, but it would kind of assume, again, that energy cost, labor cost, that everything wasn't also going up. So if the price of silver goes up to $100, has the labor prices gone up? Has energy costs gone up? Is it really still economically feasible or incredibly profitable? Are all of a sudden if the price of silver goes up, are we really gonna see a bunch of silver mines suddenly spring into action, or is it gonna take a while for silver producers to ramp up their silver production because it's so much more profitable? I don't really know the answer to that. Honestly, I'm not in the mining community. I kind of not really interested in the miners. I know a lot of people are. I know Peter Schiff believes that they're going to be super profitable if silver does go up. That it'll be, silver goes up 5x, miner's going to go up 50x type of thing. And so people are, encouraged to invest in silver miners or other mining. Those are companies, those are people, those are businesses that are in different countries that may or may not be able to, take that land back or tax silver production or something like this. So I'm not. When I'm looking to save and I'm looking to diversify, I'm looking to hold it, I'm looking to own it, I'm looking to have an asset. By asset, it could be a house, it could be a business, or it could be, precious metals. But this asset is kind of riding the inflation wave is my thought process, right? My thought process is that as the money is devalued, this silver price will rise in fiat terms to correct, and that basically the folks that have assets are going to do better than the folks that don't have assets. I think that's just the straight reality of it. If you don't have any assets, inflation is going to hit you harder than it is if you're a person that has assets, and so I think that's kind of the game there, it is interesting to consider what the CoinHELPU video has really kind of made me step back and go, hey, you got a considerable amount of your net worth in precious metals. what would you do if silver went to $100? And would you, and maybe the gold to silver ratio doesn't change. Would I sell any? Would I look at that and like decide to take some profit off the table? And I don't think I would, because that's not the kind of stacker that I am. I'm not a trader. I'm not looking for numismatic coins. I'm not like trying to get out there and turn a quick buck. I'm not a dealer that's looking to transactionally make profit. I'm just looking to hold. I'm looking to buy and hold and use this as a long-term retirement, whether I leave this to my kids or use this in an emergency, or end up living on it because medical advancements have improved and I live to 125. I'm going to need this silver, right? So that's kind of where my perspective is coming from. And yeah, I think that is interesting, but it is interesting too that the CoinHELPU guy helped me sort of reconsider my position, because he's looking at it that for a lot of folks out there, a lot of stackers, that silver is a hobby, right? It's not an investment. It's just a hobby. You like collecting, you like, handling, you like having a little bit, but not a ton. And if most stackers are out there like that, it doesn't sound like they're super committed. They only got like a couple grand of skin in the game, as opposed to a significant amount of skin in the game in terms of their silver, and that a high dollar value would suddenly sway them. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling on, I guess. That question is a question that I wonder if you guys think about much. Is silver a hobby to you, or is it an investment? What are your reasons for stacking? And I don't want you to tell me how much of how much money you put into silver, but is it a significant investment? Is it a significant portion of your net worth? Or should you only have, less than 10% or something like this? What should be the right allocation to silver? When silver was money, when silver was cash, and you held 10% of your net worth in cash, plus you might have saved precious metals, you might have had 20-25% of your net worth in silver back in the day. So, whether it's was in the bank, held with a third party, but still, how much is the right amount of silver for you? Is it just a hobby where you're collecting pretty coins and it looks pretty and you're going to give them out as gifts like I'm doing here, and then you get to look at the pretty coin that says, because of the form that it is, not necessarily what silver represents. So those are my thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and get to washing this silver, and I might spare you the video of me cleaning this up, but I'm going to go ahead and sort this out, and I'll probably take away all the scary Santas, so you don't have to be freaked out like I am walking around the house here. So let me come right back at you with some of this silver laid out. All right, we're back after a light rinse, and we got rid of all the Santas, although this Santa right here, as part of the table, was sleeping, so I didn't want to disturb this freaky Santa. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and maybe cover him up with a table runner and let him alone. So we got ourselves our towel of justice here, and let's pour out some silver. Now this should be $100 face. Oh guys, I've been going to the Coinstars, by the way, and checking the reject bin in the Coinstars. I had my kid do it once, and I've done it once, and we both times found a silver quarter. So I actually have a silver quarter to add to this stack from a Coinstar. I may show a couple pictures of that towards the end of the video, or maybe right now. Super fun. So don't forget to check your Coinstars, guys. I thought it was kind of a joke. I had seen a bunch of jokes in the Silver Forum about, checking Coinstars, and I on a lark, I told my kid, "Oh, go check the Coinstar reject bin." She came up with a handful of change, foreign coins, and one 1953 silver quarter. So that was pretty cool for her, and that got put into her stack. So good fun stuff. Yeah, check the Coinstars in your area for sure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let these dry off, and I'm gonna kind of rub these clean a little bit, and then we'll get them sorted on the table and get right back with you. All right, before I count this up, I thought this was interesting. Usually when I get $100 face value of silver quarters, the vast majority of it is the 1960s. But this time I have very, very few 1960 quarters. Usually I'll have about 60% or so. So I'll have like, $60 face in 1960s quarters. And then it usually depreciates from there. I'll have 50s and fewer 40s and way fewer 30s. But the lion's share right now is in the 40s and the 50s, which, means that I probably have less silver in terms of metal, because you definitely will have some wear and tear on these 40s and 30s. And oh, by the way, I got a bunch of barbers and standing liberty quarters here. So I'll count those out as well, and I'll check for some key dates and whatnot. But this does give me more opportunity to check for some of the more key dates, the more expensive quarters in the 40s, where usually I don't have that many, but now I've got quite a lot to pick through at some later point. I probably won't do that in this video, but kind of strange. So in some respects, I definitely noticed that, this is uncharacteristic of the purchase and probably means that I got something that was picked through. So I don't have a lot of hope of finding anything particularly valuable, because my guess is these have been picked through and somebody pulled out all the 60s, or as many as they could quickly, so that they could maximize their silver content. So anyway, let me go count this up and I'll be right back. All right, here's the counts. And like I mentioned, there is not many 1960s. I only have $4.25 in the 60s, but in the 50s I have 38 face, and in the 1940s I have 25 face, and in the 1930s I have 8 face, and then just a handful of face value and standing liberty and barbers. Kind of fun I still am enamored that I get some of these super old coins. I know they're pretty slicked out, and it's questionable if their silver value for the price that I'm paying for these guys, but I just enjoy it nonetheless because of the old nature of these coins, right? But this all together equals exactly $100 face, which, so good on ST Bullion for giving me exactly what I had ordered. And there we go. So pretty excited about that. So what do you think, guys? So, I mean, let's say, you were posed with this question. You got a couple $100,000. What do you put your money in for the next 5, 10, 20, maybe even 25 years? What are you going to invest in? Are you going to invest in real estate? I mean, I'm not going to invest in real estate right now, right? Top of the market, interest rates are going up, values haven't corrected quite yet, but seem like they're going to slowing down. Like, are you going to invest in real estate? Are you going to put a couple $100,000 into that? Are you going to put a couple $100,000 into stock market with an upcoming recession that everybody's talking about or believe is going to exist? Are you going to put a couple $100,000 into Amazon or Tesla or the S&P 500 that makes up most of those FANG stocks or whatever it is now that Facebook is Meta. Are you going to invest in stocks? What about bonds? Or do you trust the bond market, or the fact that you had like a 40 or 60 year bull bond market? And where do we stand right now? Or other commodities, perishable goods. Silver and gold is commodities, but for me, it's a different kind of class of commodities. I don't know. What are you going to invest in? So this is the problem, and I think that the CoinHELPU video does the service of having you reevaluate, like, what are you doing? Check yourself. What's your narrative? What's your strategy? What's your philosophy? Why are you in gold and silver? Why are you collecting this stuff? Is it a hobby, or do you have an investment thesis? Do you believe that it's going to work out and be a better investment, or a better place to store your money, a better store of wealth than other things? And I just think it's really interesting because, as our economy is kind of built on debt, and this gets a little fringe theory, Rafi Farber type of stuff, but when all of the money is basically debt, it makes sense that it could fail. It makes sense that it could hyperinflate. Now, will it hyperinflate? I don't know. At the end of the day, you have to service your debt with money. So you need to come up with money. If you're going to pay your mortgage, if you're going to pay your credit card bill, you're going to you're paying in your local currency, your local fiat. And to pay in your local fiat, that means you have to have your local fiat. You need to buy some. You can't show up with Zimbabwe bills and try to pay the debt down. So nobody's going to accept it. So you have to buy that local fiat to be able to pay. But what happens when everyone defaults on their mortgage and there's no longer a market as large of a market to buy up that local fiat? And all of a sudden, the value, people realize that the house of cards falls. I don't know. I want to put some of my wealth, some of my savings, some of my emergency fund, or some of my, just net worth into this sort of backup plan. Have an asset, have a commodity that that may be useful. It may be useful for solar panels. It may be useful for cars, for batteries, for Teslas or whatever. And will that stand the test of time, or will it be, money? Because all the fiat, with the theory is it's a money substitute, right? Real money, gold and silver, and all the rest of it is a money substitute, trying to pretend like it's gold and silver, because at the end of the day, it's tough to dig up gold and silver out of the ground and stamp it into a coin after it's refined, and be able to trade these things that are difficult to come by. They're scarce resources. So I just think it's an interesting discussion, or am I just involved in a hobby here? Am I enamored by these old coins, and maybe I start getting into slabbed coins, wanting to trade and make collections, and you're kind of a old school stamp collector. Whatever happened to stamp collecting, right? It doesn't seem like stamp collecting stood the test of time, but it used to be a thing, right? Do people still collect stamps? Is there stamp collections out there that are worth anything? Kind of like seems like that kind of went the way of the Beanie Baby, or those crystal figurines and whatnot that people would put in curio cabinets. So I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, right? We're all just going through life trying to figure out the best way to be, and what is the best way to be. And I think that's helpful. So anyway, I kind of wanted that was on my mind. Thought I would have that as a little discussion here as I'm going through and putting together my own silver stack. I'm going to be right back with tubing these things up. All right, we pulled out our can, our almost finished but slightly unfinished can of silver quarters, and we just have the remaining bit to fill up. Obviously, there's a bunch of quarters in here, tubes that are not totally filled, and I think we are going to fill them. I think we have enough to complete this can to make it, instead of around 500 face value, to be 700 face value. And that would be my 500 ounces instead of, 440-ish. So I'm going to pull out these trays. I'm going to take out the trays that are not fully finished. And then we are going to start tubing these up and see where we're at and see how much extra we got. I pulled out 12 tubes. I only need 10, but just in case. And we'll see how we are. All right. All right, I got my not finished tubes of barbers and SLQs to get added to, and a whole 30s tube, which is mostly empty. I got a half-filled 40s and 50s tube, and an almost complete 60s tube, which is pretty good since I'll fill that up and just have a couple in the 60s remaining that'll be loose, and we'll figure out how to fill these trays, just a couple of empty spots in these trays. So pretty excited. Let's get going. Okay, so here we have it. It's done, guys. I have 70 tubes of quarters that are completely filled, and in my adorable little trays, now that I've found these trays out, and these trays fit perfectly in the ammo can. So 70 tubes, $700 face, or 500 ounces of silver for this ammo can. This monster project is done. It is done, and we've completed it by the end of the year, so that's even more exciting. I mean, I don't know if it's super exciting for everybody because Santa is still asleep. He doesn't care. But we got this remaining left over. I've got one full tube of barbers right here, and then just every little 50s, 40s, 30s, SLQs, barbers that are partial rolls. So the ones with blue tape on it show the kind of the partial filled, and the ones without blue tape and have a 40 on the bottom show that these are full rolls of 40 quarters per roll. So that's it, guys. Super excited. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Hopefully this video gets put out on Sunday, on Christmas Sunday, or right about then. And I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let's get going in 2023 because I got more stuff to do. All right, take care, guys.